Find out what the major influence on children. We said 1950 it was home, school, church, peer group, and television. And then we gave you 1980. Home was still number one. What the major influence on children. Number two position. We said 1953. School dropped down to number 4. Church last on the list. Let's go back to my statement. My statement said that only men can make boys men. Now let's see where black boys are going to find men. Let's first of all look at his home. 62% of all black children live in a single-run household. It's a very good chance he would not find a man here. I'm going to hold off on the streets and drop down to television. Can you name me 5 positive adult black men on television outside the news? And you can't name Cosby because the show just started. Name me 5.
Outside the news.
Outside the news. And you better not say George Jefferson. So they find very few black male role models on television. Now let's drop down to the schools. 83% of all elementary school teachers are women. 95% of all teacher aides are women. And when do men teach? After the critical 4th grade, or they're in the upper grade, or they're a PE teacher, the janitor, or the principal. Very few before the 4th grade where black boys need them the most. And lastly, the church. Most young people, men don't go to church. And the reason is we lie to them. First of all, we made Jesus Christ white. The man surely was not white. And we have a book called What Color Was Jesus to explain that. He had hair the texture of wool and feet the color of bronze. But secondly, the Lord's Prayer says on earth as it is in heaven. Young people and men want some action. They want some programs. If there are no programs in your church, they will see you later in heaven. As a result of not finding a man at home, few on television, few in school, and not wishing to attend church, the last place is the streets. And that's the problem. The streets do a very poor job making men. They do a better job making pimps, pushers, and a few basketball players. You see, you have the active conspirators and you have the passive conspirator. See, it's like child abuse. There were always 2. You have the father who does the beating, active, but you have the mother who turns her back, passive. Isn't apathy, indifference, low expectations, buying hot goods in the black community, isn't that also part of a conspiracy? You have the active and you have the passive. In a conspiracy, there would always be 2. Let me now give you the starting lineup. We'll start with the active ones first and then move to the passive. Leading off, batting in the number 1 position, representing this country, institutional racism.
Batting first is the president.
He bats in the number 1 position. Batting second, representing the Trilateral Commission, the Fortune 500, big business. David Rockefeller bats number 2. Batting third, representing the military complex. You didn't know, black people, 12% of the population, 1/3 of the military, and died 41% of the time in the Vietnam War.
The chief of staff.
Bats number 3. Batting fourth, and I don't mean Marlon Brando. I mean the real Godfather. Drugs running rampant in the black community. Please don't deceive yourself. If America is the number 1 power in the world, they could police their borders to stop the drug traffic. These men and what they represent intentionally want to make sure the black boys never grow up to be men. But remember, they got some help from some of us who really like black boys, who may even have black boys at home, just didn't know any better. 5 through 9. Batting fifth, not all, but some mothers who raised their daughters. Style than girls. Batting seventh, representing the media in this country, shows like Gary Coleman and Web.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Back again on this Wednesday. What's going on, Cassidra?
Everything is everything. Can you hear me good? Am I okay?
You on mute if you talking.
All righty, I may have to come out and come back in.
All right, so I'm not sure if her audio is working or not.
So you guys,
But yeah, I'll come on here. First of all, I want to, say my bad. Last week, take care of some personal stuff that I definitely wanted to do. So I appreciate that, and shouts out to y'all for being patient and all that. All right, so she dropped off and she's gonna come back on. But yeah, today is a important conversation because I think that we should get back to some of the conversation that we have, you know, in order to restore our communities, especially when it comes to the young boys and the brothers and stuff like that. What up, my brother Anthony? All right, Cassidra, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Okay, so they can hear you on YouTube. I gotta go out and hear you because I just listening on my phone. So, but I can't hear you. I don't know what's up with
Oh,
StreamYard and the audio, and we can't hear each other.
yeah.
And when Anthony come on, when he go out, my audio go out. So I'm gonna go out and come right back in. So go ahead and speak to the people, Cassandra.
All right. Hey, everybody. I see you guys in the chat, and welcome. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm trying to see it on my computer if you guys can hear me or not. Okay, I can hear me. Okay, so it sounds like I'm good. I hope everybody's had a great day. My day is just starting. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming, tuning in. I think we're in for a great show today. Another educational moment, which is much needed in our community. But I'm proud of Black folks so far. I see with the Asian blackout. I'm not gonna call it a boycott. I'm gonna call it a blackout. Finally, Black people are creating generational wealth for ourselves. We've made everybody else rich over the years. I did a show, my show last Thursday or Friday, and I talked about how much money actually the Asian community, and we're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Now it is time for us to create that community. Let's bless us with billions and billions of dollars. We've made everybody else rich. Turn to become rich, to help each other. Yeah, keep your money in your community, and we'll see how things in our community grow. And that way we
Can
can
you hear
put
me?
back into the community. For you, can you guys hear him? I can hear you fine. So
Yeah, I
let's
hear
put
you
the money
too.
back in our community. Can you hear me? We hear
Yeah.
you. We hear you fine. Okay, cool. We can hear. So now it's time for us to make us rich instead of making everybody else rich. We made a I think it was $262 billion when I did the math. Okay, in the gas stations it was like 1.3 million, $1 in gas stations. Okay, so let's make this is good. This is a blackout. This is not a boycott. It's a blackout. It is time for us to really pay some attention to Black people. Create generational wealth. And I rest. We can hear you fine for it, yes.
All right. Yeah, I think StreamYard be mad because I don't be paying for it. So it is what
Well,
it
you know
is.
what? That's I like that too. When I'm doing my shows, because I do one on Thursdays also night or whatever. It does me the same way. When they can't hear me and then I can't hear them, so we have to play with it before we get on it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with another avenue to do this.
Yeah. Shouts out to Nicole in the building. All right, consider. All right, so we'll go through this so we not on here super late and wasting time. And make sure y'all subscribe to Consider's channel too, so you can make sure that you see her live when she go on. I think you gonna have one. It's usually when I wake up. I'm not sure. For here, it's like
Yeah, it's usually
5 or 6
early.
in the
It's
morning.
usually
Yeah,
Yeah, it's usually really early there because it's like maybe 3 o'clock here when I go on live. Yeah, 2 or 3 o'clock. So yeah, you guys can watch it after you guys get up.
yeah,
We talking about great things about really coming back to the motherland and how it is emotionally. People don't understand that it's not just oh up and move. It's a lot that goes into moving overseas, over abroad. Period. Not just it's not just you have the honeymoon stage and then you have the part where you're like oh my God my family is still there and I'm here. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So yeah.
all right. So before we go into it, I got to show you something here. Now look at this, right? Now this monkey needs help, right? Because look at this.
Mm.
But I got to come back to this video later.
Got
But
the
I
new
just want to show
pizza
you.
refresher from McDonald's. Peyton's gonna try it first, of course.
Mm.
It's good.
See
Peyton
this,
absolutely
Cassandra?
loves it.
Mm.
It's a
Uh,
new
She
pineapple
nasty.
mango refresher,
Now
and it's
she
got the
finna drink
little
it.
boba
you see that?
Now she finna drink it. I already know. She
balls in
nasty.
it.
And the dog ain't getting none. So the dog is outranked by the monkey.
Mm, mm, mm.
Now, you know, I could say something here, right? Because this monkey here would not probably do that to his own children. It probably would not, you know, unalive a school full of other monkeys like him. So it could be
Exactly.
debated which species here is more civilized.
Exactly. The monkey knows better. She's just so nasty. These people are not human. That monkey probably his mouth probably cleaner than hers anyway.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the monkey need to go to the doctor after that, drinking behind
You
that
ain't
thing.
right.
Now look at, and this is just their police officer. Now this dude here, he was putting
New tonight,
feces
a
to
former
giving
San Antonio
homeless
police
people.
officer with a history of
Yeah, he was giving homeless people feces sandwiches, and then he got promoted to the chief of police.
New tonight, a former San Antonio police officer with a history of misconduct allegations has a new title. In April, Benavides City Council voted to appoint Matthew Luckhurst as the city's new police chief. In 2016,
course.
Luckhurst was suspended from the
Not
San Antonio
surprised.
police force after two separate accusations involving fecal matter. One involved placing feces in a sandwich intended for a homeless person. Another incident involved smearing feces on the only women's restroom at the SAPD's bike patrol unit.
And
It's
for that, he gets
disgusting.
promoted.
These people, and this is what they do. They use their system against us, but then they use their system to promote their own when they know that they're going against the law. But this is something that needs attention. You know, our people going to jail and getting a whole exuberant amount of time when they sitting up here raping kids, Epstein's list, and some other lists, and not getting any time. You know, they use their system, their unjust system for us. We the only one getting the time around here. Just seen a 76-year-old white male from Texas involved in sexual, molestation of kids. Say he'd been doing it for 40 years. I'm like, no, he's been doing it longer than that. 40 years, that's how long you found out about it. But he's been doing that since a child, honey, because somebody did him. These people are not human. I keep telling y'all, we need to separate from them because our children, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in now if we weren't connected to them or living in the same city, living around them. This is why you have stuff coming up missing and hanging and all this other stuff. They still doing it, but they calling it suicide. That's the saddest part about it. And we as black people don't understand that. Every time they hanging somebody, it's not suicide, it's the police officers, and they don't want to investigate themselves. But I rest. Go ahead. Let's finish talking about nasty.
No. You're right. You're right. Now let's go to the top. And you was saying this
I'm
earlier,
doing that
so
in a big
I
way,
want you to,
for real.
let's see.
To y'all who keep asking why they so mad that we just decide to retreat our money, it's because this our first
Never.
direct deposit as black people. It's a wealth transfer. All of that money that we were
Yes.
spending in their businesses are now
Yes.
going to black businesses, black techs.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
wealth
Yes.
transfer. Congratulations. That's our first direct deposit. Let's keep it up. Cause we
Keep
need to
doing it.
everybody needs to be on the list.
I just want y'all to pay attention to everything that's going on right now. As far as everyone that's getting upset that black people are saying that they're going to boycott, pay attention. Because, like, the real reason why is because it's a transfer of wealth. That's the reason why
Yes.
they're really upset. You know, it's a transfer of wealth. They, like, the Asian community created their wealth off of the black dollar.
Yep.
Because the
did.
only reason why they're even able to come over here and the only reason why they've been able to thrive as much as they have is because of the black community. Because one, the civil rights movement. And when they first got here, they were not allowed to put their establishment.
All right, yeah, we know, and we had all of these conversations, you know, but it's time for keep doing it. But that's just one phase of it, right? Because it comes down to a mindset. Because it was like I told you, it's like,
Taking
what if the
Mhm.
Alabama bus
Oh,
boycott
yeah.
had the intentions of saying, well, we're not just boycotting, we're trying to have the Black Alabama transit system is what we're trying to create, as opposed to, hey, we just want to get equal treatment. You know what I'm saying? Imagine where Alabama would be right now as far as business and trade and all of that stuff. And don't get me, well, they would have did this. Well, you know what we would have did? We probably would have been like, yo, somebody would aim our ancestors and smack them back. You know what I mean? But listen to this, Cassidra, because this is another part.
I just want to apologize first and foremost to Baby Corn.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna tell you why I want to apologize to Baby Corn, and everybody in here owe an apology to Baby Corn.
Okay.
Because this is not our first rodeo. This is not our first walk around the block with San Antonio Police Department and their pathology, the sickness that they exercise. This is not our first walk. So everybody who have not responded like a human being.
So San Antonio, that's the same police department where the dude was putting feces in the sandwiches, giving them to homeless people. Same police department.
Police. Are you serious? So
Crazy.
they've been doing shit the whole time. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So what we doing, keep it up. Keep doing it, because we don't see a lot more businesses shut down. And I told you, all we have to do is create our own black mart. Just like you got Walmart, you create your own black mart. You have black folk coming together, producing their own products and selling your products there. And you get everything there. You get your nails done, you get your hair done, you get your barber, you get your pedicures, manicures, you get your clothing, you get your meat, you get your groceries, you have the same thing you have there, but it's black owned. This can be created globally. All you have to do is get a building and pay rent, and everybody pay a fee on their whatever their product is. Say $100 a month. $100 a week. You sell products, $70. And you come up with a reasonable rate, and you pay that rent, and it's like 50 to 100 people in that one building, and everybody paying rent on that building. You can have a whole Walmart that closed down, and the one that's closing, that's getting ready to close in here, wherever this place is. Where's that? Ohio? Where's that at? Ohio, right? You can use that building as the first black mart. Get Walmart's out of there. Stop giving your money to Walmart. If this is what they're doing, but see, Walmart should have been closed down because they've been allowing police officers to do anything and everything in Walmart. Remember the one guy that was in there, he was playing with a plastic gun or something, got shot by a police in the Walmart? We should have been closed down Walmart. But I rest.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
finally got it. Good job. Finally got it. Good job.
Being supposed to respond when we have watched these egregious acts that wait fall on you. We've been calling you to action. You just ain't came. Now it hit home. Everybody in here, I know all of you pretty much. You had an opportunity to fight and you walked the other way. That's right. We were telling you. Now what I want to do, I want to bring up some people, attorney,
yes,
if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Mo, come up here. Stand right there.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this because this is the part that really just did something to me. So just pay attention.
Brishari, where she go? Come up here. I want people to see this.
These are families who
These are families who have been victims, recent victims of San Antonio police violence.
My Lord.
And Mark, come right there. Everybody here, Attorney Crump, know what I'm talking about. This has been proliferated all over social media. Now we have two little girls. I don't know if they even made it. Anaya. Thank you. I want to talk to you when we get through. Anaya. And who? Did they make it? Alasia and Anaya. And Quintavious here? Tell them to come up here. We're not going to be long. We need to do this. Quintavious, where you at? Well, while you're making it up here, we have two little girls that were beat up right here, right down the street after getting out of school. And after they were beat up by the San Antonio Police Department, they were sent to the Juvenile Detention Center in Corinth, Mississippi. A very horrific experience.
It's on video?
I want to, yes, sir, all of this is on video. You go back and check it out because we need to establish a pattern.
Exactly.
Yes, sir, a pattern. This is a pattern. A pathology of racism. Every one of these people have suffered recently, and this community know about it. Mark home was invaded, unlawfully invaded, and he was almost killed by the San Antonio Police Department, almost tased to death. Y'all know it. Bear witness to it. He was almost killed in his own home. All
right, and I ain't gonna go long because we can do this forever. We have been doing it forever, in fact, So you want to say something about that, Cassidra?
there's a
Oh
statistic,
shit, hold on.
data analysis.
You want to say something about that? I don't hear you talking if you're saying something. Okay, she fell off for a second. Let's see. All right, she lost connection. But yeah, man. All right, so I'll play a little bit more while we wait for it.
The police department almost tased to death. It wasn't by some miraculous act that the chief was tased himself. Mark probably would have had his neck broke. He said the chief told him, "I'm finna kill you." Oh my God. My Lord. All right? My Lord. He survived that. They tried to send him to Posture. Quintavious was arrested. 10-year-old Quintavious at the time was arrested for peeing outside. Arrested. Wow. Right here. 10 years old, right here. My Lord. Brashari just last year on Mother's Day. Parked temporarily in a handicapped parking spot waiting her mother, who we all love in this community, Miss Faulkner. And she was drug out of her car in the presence of these children that she holding and beat on the ground. My Lord. On Walmart parking lot for a parking violation or parking in a handicap. The same Walmart, that's where I'm trying to go. The same Walmart where Quintavious, no. I'm talking about Quintavious. Take your time. Cohen. Called a state-sponsored bullet. A state-sponsored bullet. My Lord. Now we got crime and violence in our own communities where everybody want to deflect to.
All right, yo, Cassidra, you there now?
Can you hear me? I can hear you. You kind of breaking up a little bit. Can you guys hear me okay? If I drop off, I'll call back. I'm on my
clear.
computer.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
You want to say something about that?
I think the police departments across America need to be investigated. All of them, one by one. All of them need to be investigated. This is great. You know, put some attention, so put light on the police department. It's time for this whole justice system to be blown out the water. And I rest. Go ahead.
Yeah, facts. All right, let's now we talking about this, right? So let's listen to this.
Just that has come out about young Black men. Young Black men are now taking their own lives at a historic rate. This is a very sad but necessary story. Put it up for mask. According to Capital B News, for the first time since the United States government began collecting data on this, young Black men are now dying by unaliving themselves at a rate higher than young white men. Let that picture stay up just for a moment. All premature death is sad. All of it.
We know that's not true.
Cause and effect, the relationship of cause and effect is real. The adverse policies that we have witnessed for years against Black males in particular has a cause and effect reality too. The figure comes from the CDC. CDC data in total across genders, Black Americans have seen their overall rate climb by 53% between 2014 and 2024. That's more than 10 times faster than white people in the same study and twice as high as Latinos and Native Americans in the same.
Okay, so as soon as Trump, so after we had the first Black president, quote unquote, first Black president, Trump, that's when we wanted to kill ourselves. Gotcha.
Study.
Makes sense.
Black children.
Information from enemies. You give me information from people that don't like you. So we have to be very careful with that. Be very careful.
No, well, yeah. All right, I'll play a little bit more.
These people don't like you.
29.
Yeah, these people don't like us. So guess what? Hold on, forecast. Hold on.
Mhm.
Now you already got them lying, talking about we hanging ourselves. We gonna believe them? We gonna put this curse on our children? Hell to the no. Our babies are not committing suicide. They're dying by the hands of white people. Let's just put it out there, right? Because we just saw. Okay, I hope you have the one with the young woman or the others that are hanging themselves. Then you got police officers that's murdering our unarmed 1-year-old. Okay, nobody in that car was armed. Why is that baby dead? You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful of who we believe in. And we're not going to believe enemies who we know this off unaliving us already by hanging us on trees and calling it suicide. Because guess what? If I call it a suicide, then I'm not going to have to investigate myself. That's what the hell happening. So we going to call it out as we see it. Ain't no black person hanging themselves. Ain't no suicide rate higher than white folk. That's a lie right there. And we're not going to put this on our babies. We get our information from enemies and then we're going to repeat it. So therefore, when more black young folks continue to die, then they're going to say, well, CDC said. No. Oh, that's BS. That's BS. But we have to start calling out the bullshit when we see it. Because we know our babies are not unaliving themselves. We know where it's coming from. But you understand something. When you come from among them and be separate and learn not, then you'll have this problem. This is because we need to delineate from their schools. Now, we ain't going to get that. We already transferring the wealth. Now let's get our babies away from them. And then let's see how they grow. Then let's call it. Then we can call the shots and we can say, okay, it is suicide. But I'm not believing that. Hell to the no. But I rest with that. Go ahead.
Now, Cassidra, this is the part where you probably about to get like super pissed off right now. All right. So, and I think you mentioned, you mentioned this sister here, right? You mentioned that. I think you just the one you was talking about.
Absolutely. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see.
Tania. I cry. Okay. So Michigan, y'all. We're gonna talk about Tania Miller. Tania Miller is from Michigan, y'all. Now, June 18th, Tania Miller was found on a tree. She was visiting Miami to celebrate Juneteenth for the weekend. She was 27 years old. And somebody said, I'm not surprised it's not getting any coverage, but I'm going to do my best to get her name out there. Me too. Because I ran across this today and I said, oh my. Wow. Since when are we hanging from trees? In 2026, North Carolina that was found hanging from a tree also. So it's been 2 African-American females that were hanging from a tree, found hanging from a tree. So we'll talk about it. Let me switch over to my other page real quick and make sure everything's good before I get
whereabouts for Tania.
This was in Gwen Cherry Park, y'all.
Those of you in Michigan, Flint, Michigan. This is her last whereabouts. It's 3 ways you can enter this trail.
And now somebody online had been saying that this is not a real story. There wasn't a girl that was hung from a tree. Yes, it was. This is a real story. But what police are saying, they are saying that this was self-inflicted, that she did it to herself. They found her in the field, 6 o'clock in the morning. Somebody called it in. This girl was hanging from a tree with a rope.
You can enter it that way. It's another trail coming this way. And you also got that.
You know where that's at, Cassidra?
That's what she had.
Gwen Cherry Park.
I do not. I don't know where that's at, but I'm gonna tell you what. We're not hanging ourselves on trees. I'll tell you that much. Now, like I said, if the police department says it's suicide, that means they're not going to investigate. So they're not going to investigate themselves, right? So we need to understand what is the connection of all these people that we find hanging on trees. We need our own investigating team. We don't need the police department to come in our community to tell us anything. We need to be telling them, and they need to be. And see, this is what was going on. The Black folk was more together in our own communities. Then you'd be aware of what's happening to your own, because you'll know who's coming in and out the community like they used to know back in the day. But we so spread out that we can't keep up with each other, and that's done on purpose. So now you can hang us on trees and call it suicide, and nobody's going to investigate it. But we should know better. So where's our investigating team? If we delineate, let's delineate for real. Let's get our own police department, our own investigating team, our own mayors, our own cities, our own everything. Why are we waiting? What's going on? We still don't want to come from among, be separate and learn out. Until we do what we need to do, it's going to keep on. This is going to keep on happening. Your children going to keep going to prison, getting a whole bunch of time for fighting and defending themselves. This is just the start. So what are we going to do about it before it gets out of hand? Because this is getting out of hand. This is not the first young lady. We had a 16-year-old in, well, I don't remember what that one was. That was what, maybe a month ago? She was 16. So she killed herself too? Y'all better smell the BS when you smell it. I'm smelling something fishy right about now. I've been smelled it. But let's keep telling them it's suicide, because then we don't have to investigate ourselves. We already know who's doing it. We already know. But we're going to rest with that one. Go ahead.
No, facts.
It's pretty crazy, pretty ironic.
I have to do that later. But yeah, they found a girl 27 hanging from a tree, and her family want to know what's going on.
The part, this is the tape. I'm assuming she was like maybe like upper 20 there type thing. It get pretty dark out here too as well. This is all the
How she get way out there?
Totally.
How she get way out there?
News broadcasting, social media madness. Another black life lost. What happened? Blood on the leaves, hanging from trees. Her name was Toya Miller. What if it was me? She went to Everett High School with nothing to lose. Black is beautiful. She was the proof. Last thing she said to me was, stay positive, keep grinding. Things will happen in perfect timing. No better time than now to speak on your life. Little I knew, you treated me right. Mugshots don't deter me from confidential pain and suffering. Nowadays, people see that and judge too fast and be like, she down on her luck again. But the sad truth, another black life was lost.
Now, who did this girl run into going down there for Juneteenth, and somebody decided to end her life? It's crazy. That's insane.
Because she was come from a whole nother state.
And then, they always give you the same old story. She did it herself. They did it.
I forgot. I think she came.
Yeah, she came from a whole other state, Michigan, right? She came from Michigan.
She came from
Michigan. And how she get way out there in the damn woods? And why is she? Black folk ain't going in no damn woods like that. Why are we going out there? What's she going out there for?
Right, and somewhere you've never been before.
Exactly. What she know about that area in Florida? What the hell? But we're gonna
that's what it was, Florida.
Yeah, she's in Florida. It was in Florida. So Florida is the biggest trafficking area anyway. Miami. I would go. You couldn't pay me to go to Florida. You couldn't pay me to move to Miami. That's the biggest trafficking hub is in Florida, Miami. We don't understand that. Doggone well that girl ain't going way out there in the woods. How'd she get out there? Where's the car? How did she get out there? So you gonna tell me it's suicide? That was a whole lot. That's BS, and we know it. Make them do their job. If they can't do their job, then we create our own investigating team so that we can investigate the police department. And we need to start digging and pulling that shit out. What's going on? What's really going on in the police department that you can't investigate this? That every time you see somebody hang on a tree, you call it suicide. They're in on it, all of them. The medical examiner, the police department, all of them in on it. The FBI, you ain't gonna tell me they're not. Why is the FBI not saying that? Because they in on it too. All of them demons and devils, they cover for each other. They know that this is not suicide. They know this is not. But if I say it, then I don't have to investigate it, my boys, and we can continue hanging. So this is a crew that's going around America hanging black folk. So they did this on purpose on Juneteenth, murdering this baby. Okay. All right with that.
Yeah. And that was just to, show you, yeah, so that happens all the
Everybody,
time.
politicians, the news media, the think tanks, the podcasters.
So to what we was talking about anyway, like with the young black boys and stuff like that, which is why it's important for us to create these institutions to protect our children in the first place, because
Everybody,
that's where it
politicians,
starts at.
the news media, the think tanks, the podcasters, the social media influencers, the self-proclaimed experts, the professional race hustlers, and the culture critics. Even people who have never spent 5 minutes mentoring a black child somehow have entire dissertations prepared on what's wrong with black youth. They can tell you what black kids are doing wrong. They can tell you why black kids are struggling. They can tell you why black communities have problems. They can tell you why black boys aren't succeeding. They can tell you why black girls are angry. But ask those same people one simple question: what are you actually going to do about it? And then suddenly the room gets quiet. You can hear a mouse practically piss on cotton. But here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of people don't actually care about solving problems facing black youth. They don't care about discussing black youth. They don't care about analyzing black youth. They care about criticizing black youth. They care about monetizing conversations with black youth. And those are two different, completely different things. For generations, black youth have existed under a microscope unlike almost any other group in America. Every mistake becomes a headline. Every failure becomes a case study. Every problem becomes a cultural diagnosis. Every controversy becomes a national debate. And somehow, some way, no matter what happens, black children are expected to carry the burden of representing millions of people they've never met. So today we're going to talk about why black youth have become some of the most scrutinized people in America, and why so many people seem far more interested in watching black youth than actually helping them. One of the strangest expectations placed upon black youth is something most people never even think about, and that's individuality, or rather the lack of it. Most teenagers get to be individuals. A teenager gets suspended from school, people will ask what happened. A teenager gets caught shoplifting, people will ask what led to it. A teenager will get into a fight, people will ask what's going on in their life. But somehow when the teenager is black, the conversation often changes. Now people want to talk about black culture in its entirety. Black homes, black neighborhoods, black values, black parenting, and black communities. Suddenly, one teenager isn't one teenager anymore. They are now a representative, an ambassador, a spokesperson, or a...
Now, Cassidra, now the conversation you saying is, especially when they're saying, well, way higher than white and even quote unquote Native Americans, if there are any even left, you know what I'm saying? So let's put context to it. It was like, as a comedian once said, when the last time you seen two Indians together, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. But the conversation does need to be had is, uh the struggle for, because you talk about this all the time, like, especially for a young black boy or girl, you know what I'm saying, in America especially, but around the world, without global protection, and how you have a whole system, a global system out for that makes money off of their bloodshed and their sweat and their
Yes.
labor and their
Yes.
muscles and their looks and their style and the stuff that they
Yes.
say and the stuff that they do, and they make money off of it. But meanwhile, you're there to be like a lion in the zoo or something like that, you know what I'm saying, like, but you're
Yeah.
still supposed to be the wild Negro that we caught from roaming the plains of wherever,
But who's shooting up
but
schools, though? Who's
right.
shooting up schools? Okay, we're not watching their kids, so hot. We're gonna watch our babies. Who's shooting up schools? The thing about it is, you should see all those black children that are missing. We talking about 10, 9, 8-year-olds come up missing. Where were they? Where were they last? We have to understand the CPS is in us too. See, we get every entity that they have in America, and they say that we're included in that entity. Those are the entities that we have to watch because they have their hands in some nefarious shit. We have to understand that everything they've created, just like these schools, they created for us. What happens? Look at these schools. These schools are failures. They wouldn't even allow a new program that I was trying to get a program into these schools. They wouldn't even allow Ram in the Bush in there. Well, I wanted dads to come in there and spend time with kids, black men. who had time, they wouldn't even allow the program. Oh, we got our own program. Well, you know, your program ain't working. I told one lady, one principal I talked to, I said, well, your program, yeah, you have a program, but is it working? You don't care if the program is working or not? You wouldn't let my program in there, but your program is shit because it's not working. Of course she got upset. I don't care though, but I say what I need to say. But my thing is, when are we going to come together and get our children out of those schools? When are we going to really watch our children and really care about our children? Because right now, we don't care about our kids. We don't have time for one. We're working 16-hour jobs, 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. Why is one parent working 4 jobs trying to take care of his 2 or 3 children? Why are they not doing it together? Yes, I understand you guys not together anymore, but that woman shouldn't be the only one, or that man shouldn't be the only one taking care of their babies. It's still, you both birth those babies, you both should be taking care of those babies. So it should not be a family where you have a single woman that's got to get another man to watch her children, or another person outside the family to watch her kids. If you know that you're not with her, but these are your kids, okay, then I'll get them when you get off work, or when I get off work, I'm coming to get them, and then you can go to work. Y'all work something out to where that dad and that mom, you guys are still involved in their lives. There's no reason for what we're seeing all these kids coming up missing. You know why they missing? Because they know the moms are working hard and the dads aren't employed. Okay, if you're not employed, dad, then you should have your children instead of a stranger. Because I understand the society we live in right now is not even hiring Black men. How I know? Because I worked for a place that we did the hiring. We were able to, but they wouldn't allow us to hire Black men. I know that. I experienced that. And I saw it then. And it's even getting worse now. You have a degree and they're not hiring you. But that's on purpose for family. But see, we don't understand the inside game of this stuff. They be doing stuff behind the scenes, and we're not together, so we don't even understand it as a group, because we're not talking to each other like that. So they doing a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't even understand or know about. But I rest. Go ahead.
Oh, facts. Now, and I'm interested to hear what you got to say about this right here.
Let's talk about it. And I've written down some of the
I'm saying.
things that I probably.
That's out to Koku and them.
Let's talk about it.
Podcast.
And I've written down some of the comments that I saw underneath the post. No one hates us more than Black men. So the white men that lynched us, raped us, ate us, put in literacy tests so that we couldn't vote, etc. They somehow hate us less than Black men do. I know you don't even believe that yourself. Black men don't think about settling down until they have 38 baby mamas. If I closed my eyes and didn't look at the profile picture of that person who made that comment, I would assume it was a white dude. Honestly, I feel I'm a Latina white.
Yeah, and it probably is, by the way, because they love doing it.
I guarantee you that's what they do. They stir the pot and then they run and hide their hands. They throw the rock and hide their hands. And then we as Black folk, we jump on the bandwagon. No, we're not buying that. We're not buying it. We are not buying it. Enough is enough of us coming against our own.
The second that I say something on a Black post about Black people, is 38 white people. Like, you come back 5 minutes late, 38, well, not people, but I'm sorry for that. Neanderthals, excuse me. Yeah, excuse me.
Animals.
Yeah, animals.
I'd be so wrong with mine. They don't even bother saying nothing forecast. I'd be so wrong with mine.
I love it. I be picking with them so heavy. But
they don't even bother coming back. They just say, "Well, that's arrested. We ain't gonna say nothing about her." I'd be so wrong with their ass. They better not say nothing. I'll be as wrong as I can.
They'd be like, "Oh, you're a racist."
Dang, I can't get no fight. I can't get no fight with them.
But most of the time, that's who is doing that comment. So
exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
But we have to understand that. We have to understand that, though. We have to get that in our head. It's always going to be about divide and conquer. Always with them. Go ahead.
Fucking women of other races joining in on this shit too. Where's my white king? I'm tired of being in the trenches. I avoid dating Black men because I don't want to be on welfare. What's wrong with Black men? Everything. Y'all sound like skinheads. Y'all sound like neo-Nazi, Aryan, fucking KKK members. If you have preferences, okay, whatever. Like, if you want to date white guys, that's fine. you don't have to sound like a Ku Klux Klan member while you're doing it. Like,
Exactly.
you don't have to. It's just so sad because a lot of this really comes down to self-hatred and how a lot of Black people have trauma that they really haven't unpacked. And for whatever reason, they think that the solution to this is to date white people. I'm sorry, that's really fucking stupid. People can suck equally. There's Black men that are great, there's Black men that suck, there's white men that are great, there's white men that suck.
Yeah, that's so we'll stop there because she's off the rails now. And they're all of them. And so, and listen to this part too, I guess.
Have been historically dehumanized, but at the same time fetishized. From the obsession of BBC to the fixation on wanting mixed babies, Black men's bodies have been historically dehumanized, but at the same time fetishized. I'm a 17-year-old inspiring you to talk more about these issues, so welcome back to Overlooked Stories, where we're going to challenge the stereotypes that we accept so easily. So let's unpack the origins of Black male hypersexualization, while also analyzing Kendrick Lamar's lyrics to see how Black artists are continuously reclaiming what it means to be Black in a context where culture continues to object. Start of the colonial era and colonization, Black men's bodies did not belong to them. They were property and they were a sort of commodity. Then came pseudoscientific eugenics. Eugenicists like Francis Galton spent his entire life trying to prove that Black men's bodies and white men's bodies were anatomically and significantly different.
Which they are, by the way, which is why, like, you don't die when you go outside in the sun.
And he was right.
Right. He's just not the way he wanted to be right.
Exactly. The first time he told the absolute truth ever.
See, they're just stupid because they think evolution means better. It just means different. It means that you were in a cave doing something practicing that Epstein culture, and then you developed into a savage. You know what I'm saying? And now you can't go outside without putting cream on your skin or anything like that. That's what it. That's what
and I see it here.
means.
I see it here every day when we come out. They come out in the sun. They pass you. You just see these red tamales. Around
This is their scientists saying this stuff, by the way, not me. I ain't make it up.
And the sun be tearing their behinds up. I have to sit back and look. Boy, that red tamale over there. It's crazy because the sun here is hotter. And it's so funny. You see them reds. I don't know what. I'm like, y'all laying out there and then turning all kind of shades of red. Go ahead.
So yeah, they got.
Pseudoscience really framed white men's bodies as morally superior because they supposedly exercise greater sexual control, whereas Black men were barbaric and savage. Now this
but they sleep with dogs.
Black
okay. They control their urges.
The Black and Indigenous.
Oh yeah, well, women they're attracted to little boys mostly, but
exactly, little boys. Yeah, Epstein's list, for example.
Moral and social violation. Laws like
I mean, they did it for 300 years of call it slavery and stuff, but just molesting little boys.
So we're not understanding when they talk, they're talking about themselves. Okay, they're talking about themselves. Everything they say about you, they are literally talking about themselves. That's all you got to hear. When you hear them talking, just know that they're not talking about you. They see you through their eyes, through their myth. But go ahead.
Yeah. So it starts at the beginning for the young Black.
Hey family, the video we want to talk about today is a video of a white male teacher. He shared his experience of.
All right, hold on, y'all. Got you. So this is.
Voice. Do not expect too much of them. Let's watch the video.
For instance, I went to a training session which was called "How to Teach Black Boys."
And what was the out of interest? What did they teach you? How do you teach Black boys rather than just boys in general?
Oh, it's essentially because these boys are Black, you have to have lower expectations for them.
Oh my goodness! See, that's why you get your children away from them guys.
You can't expect them for a long period of time. You can't expect them to sit down and do what was called a long write. You can't expect them just to sit down and read. They're more active. The teacher? It's a Black woman telling you.
Yeah, they said this is what teachers. That's what they taught teachers to. It's like a seminar or something that teachers went to.
And see, this is why you get your children away from them. Right there. This is if this is not proof enough that we don't love our children forecast. We can't, because we give them our children 5 days a week, 6 to 8 hours a day for 365 days. That's crazy. You're giving your enemies your children to teach them. What are they going to teach them? How to hate themselves, like they've been teaching. If we really went and took a field trip to these schools, you would take your child immediately out of their schools. Immediately. They've had your children for 70 years, and these schools are horrific. Horrific. But go ahead. I rest.
Well,
These are
they're
the
not
type of
gonna
people that's teaching your children.
You're a black woman, Cassidra. They're not listening to you or me. So let the
Okay.
Neanderthal males let them know. They're
Exactly.
listening to him.
Exactly. Let me shut up. Go ahead. Play the let them play the
we
cave
can't
piece.
we can't tell them no more.
I remember at one point.
Now, family, this video.
Play that again. We need to hear that again. We need to hear that again.
All right. Yeah.
This
So
is
he
what they
told.
think
All
of your
right.
children.
Video.
Yeah.
For instance, I went to a training session which was called "How to Teach Black Boys."
And what was the out of interest? What did they teach you? How do you teach black boys rather than just boys in general?
It's essentially
teach
because
gangster rap or
these boys are black, you have to have lower expectations for them. That was the gist of it. You can't expect them to sit down. You can't expect them to, for a long period of time, you can't expect them to sit down and do what was called a long write. You can't expect them just to sit down and read. They're more active. This is a black woman who delivered the seminar.
Wow.
Now, I remember at one point.
Now,
And it was a black woman giving this.
Did you? That's what I was going to say. Did you hear them? It was a black woman teaching this. But see, this is the brainwashing of us anyway, of black people. Doesn't matter if a black woman said or a black man. It shouldn't have been said. She should have, but they hired somebody to come out and say that because they always want to make us, you know what I'm saying? They're going to use a black person to say the most horrific things about themselves. And we do it because this is called the Willie Lynch. This is the Willie Lynch syndrome, okay? And we really have not read that Willie Lynch letter. You need to read it. Pull it up and read it so you'll understand what's really going on in the black community. What's really going on? But go ahead. They've always used the black woman. But go ahead.
And that's like saying, well, yeah, well, this lamb doesn't act this certain way in the wolf den. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't act like the other wolves. But the problem is you are the lamb in the subject, and the wolves eat
ignored
lambs. So.
racial abuse of her son, according to the allegation. Put it up for my answer.
It's just for you to start getting
News reports. Ashley
start getting you hyped up.
A North Virginia mother says her son repeatedly has experienced racism from other students at his middle school, and nothing has stopped the behavior. Now, remember, this is bullying.
I already know where you're going,
It's bullying.
I'm just saying.
Bullying seriously, because funding is associated with bullying now in our schools. You should take racist bullying seriously. Williams says students at Thorough Middle School in Vienna have called her son the N-word so many times that he has now lost count. Quote, there are children who will use the hard R-N word, and when he has addressed it, there has been times where these individuals have then gotten in his face and said it over and over again.
And now, if he was to be like, now do it again and see what happened.
Exactly.
Right? And then, you know what I'm saying, protect himself.
But see,
now it'll be a problem, right?
Exactly. But see, this is whose fault is this? Whose fault is this forecast? This the mama fault. Because you still got your child in that school. So now every day he got to face this. So when is he going to snap? And when he does, he's going to jail. He's going to jail. You're setting your son up for failure, and you don't, because you thought they was going to get a better education. Are they getting a better education, or are they getting PTSD? Let's really be honest here. So when you have your child in an all-white atmosphere, even when you're the only black person on your job, yeah, you're making more money, but what's coming with that money? Depression, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, cancer, all of it. Why? Because of the atmosphere you place yourself in for 30 years or 40 years, 50 years until you retire. And then you come out and your body broke down because you've placed yourself in a horrible atmosphere for all those years. And we don't understand what stress does to our bodies. How many times you be wanting to crack on your job? So you think our children can handle this? You give them to your enemies every day and don't even think nothing about it. Now she's sitting up there, yeah, you're complaining, but you've not moved your child out of that school. So now when he snap, whose fault is it going to be? Okay, I'm just saying. Take him out of school before he does snap. Put him in another area. Put him in another school or homeschooling. Put him in homeschooling. Why are we doing this to our children? This is our fault. Camilla shouldn't be in jail right now. He shouldn't have been in that atmosphere in the first place. So when are we going to get it? If we delineate, let's delineate all of it. All of it. Take your children out. Open your own daycare centers. Have our own schools. Because we have $1.2 trillion now. We can do whatever we want globally. So when you start taking your children away from them, watch and see the laws they come up with, because they can't have you taking your children, them young minds, away from them, because they got too much control over them now. Right now, Black folk don't even understand what racism is. They'll call you forecast. They'll call you racist before they will a white person that's dogging them out. And they'll be best friends with Becky, but they'll dog you out and call you racist. But who created the issue? Who created the problem? They did. But they taught your child how to recognize you as the enemy and not them. This goes so much deeper than this right here. You just hit the surface of it, forecast. But go ahead, I rest.
Man, and by the way, shouts out to Raw in the building. Shouts out to my brother William Bell in the building. My bad, y'all can't really see the chat with this. But I appreciate y'all for coming on. Now, Cassidra, now, all right, because you already know. Now, this is a totally different thing here, but I already know. So, all right, so check this out here. Listen to this one.
There's a Black child who drowned on the first day of swim camp. This story may sound familiar to you because my first year in Indisputable, we reported on a story very similar. It is not the same story. It's a different one. Here it is.
Tasha Johnson is the mother of King. King drowned at swim camp. Monday was the first day of swim camp. She dropped King off around 8:15, and shortly after 2 o'clock, she got a phone call that there was an accident. An accident? She gets to the hospital. Her son is declared dead. A 9-year-old little boy. My daughter, Nora, and King were in kindergarten together. Latasha says the most insulting thing to her, there was a news article released that states Henrique.
Now, this is my first time hearing about it, and this is in Richmond, Virginia, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
But see, here we go again. We still trusting enemies with our children. You'll send them to a white daycare or a white facility, but you won't send them to a Black one for him to be safe. Y'all done lost your damn minds. When we gonna get it? I almost don't even feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for the baby because he was innocent. He didn't understand. He was trusting his mammy to get it. And because she didn't, now what? Now we got to go to his funeral. Y'all better wake the hell up. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. But go ahead. Let's finish hearing about how King drowned when he was only Black in the class. But go ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
County Police and Swim RBA are being very careful not to label this a drowning. This was a drowning, and Latasha says that she knows her baby drowned, sunk to the bottom of the pool, filled with water, floated to the top of the pool, and sank again.
Put it up full mass. We have the background. We are in Richmond, Virginia. Latasha Johnson is demanding justice after her 9-year-old son, King Overton, was pulled from the pool unresponsive during a simple swim lesson.
And you know, like at any day, that could be any day, it could be my nephew. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the thing is, any day could be any one of ours. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all the whole time. That's why it's important to destroy the whole thing, like no matter how it's done, because at any time it could be any one of us. And then what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna be like, well, the police gonna handle it. Like, what are you gonna do? Because then you know you're gonna go to jail, which you don't want, or you're gonna die, which you don't want, or do you? You know what I'm saying? Or you
So
could
let's avoid
actually
all
do
of that.
something right now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So avoid all of that. Do something now. Like you said, do something now. If your child is in an all-white swim class, if your child is in an all-white school, if your child is in anything related to them by themselves and they're the only Black, know that he's getting PTSD every day. That you think he's getting this great education. Because I used to work right next to a charter school, all white. And these Black Africans, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these people were Africans. They would come over and they, they love some white folk. They would put their Black child, the blackest speck in the amidst all the white students. And do you not know those students would never go and play with them? They was always playing by themselves. But that's a great education. And you know the teachers, what they did? They wouldn't say anything. They would allow it because those adults are the biggest racists ever. That's why they in those all-white schools, hoping not to see your Black child. But you dumb enough to take your child there. And then guess what? That's the best thing you could do is take your Black child, put them in an all-white environment, and then they'll sit up there and watch your child be abused by other white students and won't say nothing. And as soon as your child says something, then he gets punished for it. I've seen this over and over and over. But guess what? We so dumb, we still don't get it. You still don't fucking understand who your enemy is. Every day you drop your child off in an all-white environment and they have a whole party taunting your child. Because now they can come to our schools. We see that. We see, hey, we be good to their kids. We don't mistreat them. Because we know how to act. You're expecting demons to treat your Black seed with love? How? They don't even love their own. They sleep with their own. They rape their own. They rape the whole family. They rape the dog included. And you just drop your child off with them, hoping that they're going to treat your child with love. Something they've never displayed to Black people ever. Make that make sense. But I rest with that.
All right, so I'm not gonna say nothing right now, right? All right, so I'm gonna just go on. Right. And there's other ones, right? So
Christopher Walken, King of New York looking lady right here.
all right, hold on, my bad, y'all. I just freezing up.
Who tried to run over some brown children as they were playing down there in Brevard County, Florida. Peace and blessings. Effing.
Right, so it's tried to run over Black children, in other words,
Ain't that something? And with no parent out there with a gun to shoot him in his fucking face. I'm just saying. What are we doing? Who's out there? Who's protecting our babies?
Another one on the run.
You got them in an all-white
Nigga yells
environment.
racial.
Who's protecting our babies? We not. But go ahead. I hope we wake up soon.
Another one on the run.
The constant
Nigga
state
yells
of
racial slurs
young.
and decides to attack a 9-year-old child.
None of these children have been like 10 years old yet.
In Naperville, Illinois, you have Jeffrey Fagenbaum, 29, was arrested after allegedly yelling a racial slur at a Black child, and then decided to push the 9-year-old child after yelling the racial slur, and then threw his bike after.
All right. So we understand how Neanderthals work,
But you should have saw the video where the dad came in, Neanderthal was at the pool, and he was trying to jump on the young boy, right? And he called his dad. Dad came in, all right, and whooped up on that Neanderthal. We should have had that one up there because some parents are listening. We're not gonna say all parents. There are some parents that's listening, they getting it. But the majority of y'all crazy. Drop your babies off every day with them demons. Every day, all day. And we see what they do to our children when nobody's looking. What's they doing to your child? What's they doing to your grandchild when you're not looking? I rest.
Well, no, yeah, and this is, and yeah, we'll well, matter of fact, we'll go to that, but
Violent attack video
look at
surfacing
this.
on social media, gaining thousands of views. Investigators say the incident happened on Sharon Church Road between Grifton and Kinston.
Lenore County Sheriff Jackie Rogers now.
Now, this was in North Carolina, Cassidra.
Are responsible, and the surprise
North Carolina getting off the chain, ain't it?
Yeah, I see, like,
Mary Grace, both adults and teens.
I guess you was right on time.
It's only gonna get worse.
Yes, Sheriff Rogers says 2 adults and 5 juveniles are being charged. It's all in connection with a violent attack on video posted to Facebook. Now, while it was posted this week,
they got to put it in the place of the family of the victim and what the family had to witness and the whole community had to witness.
Sheriff Rogers says the assault happened on May 23rd on Sharon Church Road. A North Lenore High School SRO was notified about the assault 4 days later on May 27th.
All right, so just so you know, like, they try to
and the arrest.
Point the finger at the young black males, but we know who the violent ones are. You know what I'm saying? We know who's violent.
Exactly. But I told you, they see us out of their own eyes, so they want to point the finger at us because they never hold themselves accountable. Never, ever, ever,
Exactly.
ever.
Also face charges in Lenore County with felony assault by strangulation and conspiracy. 19-year-old Landon Harris is charged with cyberbullying and conspiracy. A 17-year-old has been charged with felony assault by strangulation and conspiracy, and 6 additional juveniles have been identified and will be charged with offenses ranging from assault with a deadly weapon, simple assault, and conspiracy. The 17-year-old was taken into custody and transported to a secure juvenile facility. The sheriff's office says the assault stemmed from a dispute between juveniles, and at this time, the investigation does not appear to be racially motivated. The 16-year-old
They always say that.
is black, according
They
to
always gonna say it's not racially motivated.
The attack happened on May 24th outside of Grifton in Lenore County. The family member says the teen has several broken teeth and ruptured blood vessels in the attack. They say that the video was posted in a group chat that the victim was a member of. The victim has left the area with everything that is going on, said the family member, and he's continuing to receive medical care. Lenore County Sheriff Jackie Rogers.
All right. So,
but you see, they always give theirs the less charge. What they say, assault, the first degree, or never get felonies. They always get the basics. If anything, if they do give them something, it's gonna be the basic charge. We got assault. Well, that's a hate crime. If he's black and you beating him up, that's a hate crime. You calling him names, those are hate crimes. But you see that they won't use a hate crime for you. They'll use it against you, but not for you. But I hope we're waking up. I hope we waking up soon because we don't have long. But go ahead, I rest.
all right. So, of course, we gotta. Well, this one happened too. Was the young brother? Now he'd be wrong if he did what he did. Now,
I'm a thief. I'm sorry.
hold on, my bad.
I'm just trying to get you to bust in to show me you live. Do you want me to give you my apartment number? Are you security? This is insane. If you live here, find yourself in.
Oh yeah, this was. Oh my God, what was his mom at? What was his daddy at?
I'm just trying to get you to bust in.
He got his hands on that baby.
You are in some shit, man. That's cool. Why couldn't you have just done this downstairs? Here's my apartment. Here's my apartment. Yeah, cool. All right. Why couldn't you just do it downstairs?
Now I wish, especially this goofball looking dude, would have came. Like, you think I'm gonna let this dude put me in the headlock like this? Anyway.
But where was his mama? Where was his daddy? Where is any family member to handle this right here? I wish. That's all I'm gonna say. I wish. I don't have incidents like that. See, this is what I'm saying. It's time for us to be proactive. Get your children, get out of their neighborhoods. We have people that's in 1% Black. And why would you move in that area? Well, because we want to be around some white folk because Black folk dangerous. What the hell are you talking about? That's how brainwashed your ignorant ass is. You rather go in there and put your child in that dangerous environment and call it safe. That's brainwashing. Look at how they're treating your children by their history. This is not incidences that's not happening, that have happened years ago. These are incidences that's happened in 2026. June 24th, matter of fact, or 23rd, or whatever you guys are, whatever time y'all in. I'm just saying, what are we doing? You think they changed? And then they want to tell you when you see the one Black girl hanging, oh, that's suicide. Well, they came up with another plan because we can't call it murder because then we got to investigate ourselves. But y'all don't understand that. We don't get it, do we? This is a game that they're playing, hoping and praying you don't catch on. And we're not. But go ahead, I'll rest.
Damn, yeah. And then listen, and when y'all be celebrating these convictions, I'd be like, you shouldn't celebrate to the last day of the last sentence. But really, I would tell you what the sentence should be, but even if you celebrate it, don't celebrate it until the last day of the if you get 99 years, don't celebrate until 99 years and 365th day, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll celebrate it, you know what I'm saying? Because they do stuff like this.
2019, police confronted 23-year-old McLean after a 911 caller reported seeing someone, quote, sketchy in the area. McLean was not armed and was wearing a ski mask, which his family said was due to his anemia, which makes him feel cold.
Now, I made a video about it, which they probably didn't
Trying to explain he was going
restricted or banned me or whatever.
I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
The officers grab him and place him in a
He's
chokehold.
being suspicious by walking at night.
I have no good.
For walking.
Do that stuff.
Walking, minding his own business. Yeah.
When paramedics arrived on scene, they injected McLean with 500 milligrams of the powerful sedative ketamine. Prosecutors argued the amount used was unnecessary and excessive.
Drugged them.
McLean suffered
And killed
cardiac
him.
arrest on the way to the hospital, where he died 3 days later. The appeals court writing in their ruling that the lower court misled jurors by failing to clarify the standard of care applicable to the charge of criminally.
So basically, they got found guilty and was charged, but they're saying, well, the lower court misled them and didn't tell them because there's this law called the Casual Killing Act where you can't really kill a Negro, especially a belligerent Negro, you know what I'm saying? That cannot be considered murder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
overtime, basically, is what
That's all it was.
saying.
That's all it was. They always come back and they can get off. So now they're probably going to let them off after serving about maybe 2 or 3 years.
No, they're out now. They said that they overturned their conviction, so they're innocent.
Oh, okay. They overturned it. Okay. But okay. But see, okay, Black folk, this is only the beginning. Have you noticed that every time they do something to you, they're never found guilty? Never. I'm just waiting on them to let Amber Geiger out, the one that hugged the one that got hugged by the brother, Botham Jean's brother. Okay. I'm just waiting on her to come out. And Derek Chauvin. They're gonna overturn all that.
She probably didn't got released. They only gave her 6 months or something.
They didn't give her a whole lot of time. They didn't give her a whole
She
lot
probably
of time.
out by now anyway.
Oh yeah, she living her best life. Yeah. But see, this is what I'm saying. We don't never do nothing to them in jail. They get so their whole sentence. Why is that? You so bad, Pookie and Ray Ray. But then when they come to jail, you do absolutely nothing. How is that possible? These men shouldn't have been able to be breathing to get out of jail. Why were they still breathing to be able to be released? That's my question. But I rest my mic.
Negligent homicide. After overwhelming lack of accountability, McLean's mother reacting on social media, calling it an overwhelming lack of accountability in the court systems and corrupt and cowardly.
The courts got this wrong by overturning the convictions of Elijah McClain's murderers.
The Colorado Attorney General vowing to appeal the decision, saying in a statement, justice demands it.
Well, I'll tell you this, that Austin boy, there ain't no overturning that. I'll tell you right now. Listen, no matter what they do. So you can't overturn that. Now, even if we go back to, just Neanderthal species here, this is who are in the court system, like, oh, guilty, not guilty, and then they go home and do this. You know what I mean?
It's good.
But
Okay.
even at the beginning of this one, right, I want you to see, look at this, right?
Let's check this video out.
It really gets to a point. So a group of black boys was just sitting at the park. The basketball court was locked up. So the police comes up to them and tell them that they are making people feel uncomfortable and try to make them leave. Hold on, y'all. I got the video.
Who's uncomfortable? Who's uncomfortable, sir? We're fine with them being here. Are you uncomfortable with them being here? Are you kidding me?
They weren't even bothering anybody. And the lady that you hear speaking up for them is Heather. Her TikTok handle is Your Favorite Boy Mom. I just want to thank you for speaking up and pulling out your camera, because if you wasn't there to speak up for these,
Be invited to the cookout, y'all.
But let's take a look at the caption. It says, so now being uncomfortable is against the law. This is straight up bullying. These boys were just sitting on the bench, minding their business. They were minding their business, and the police came up to say that they're making some people uncomfortable. And when you look at the screenshot here, you could see the people in
the Edwardsburg Westside Regional Police, I believe at 7. I will post links when they are available. I deeply, deeply, deeply just want to apologize to all those who have to deal with that every day. I can't imagine.
She says she's sorry, Cassidra. So you can come on back to America.
And some people
Neanderthal
don't give a
has
damn.
apologized.
Yeah, some people don't care that she just said that. Until your people stop hanging my people, I'm giving a damn what she got to say. Because she's apologizing, but we just saw what happened with her apology, right? We seen the 26-year-old hanging on a tree. Okay, we see Carmelo in prison, 35 years for defending himself. I'm just saying. That's the story of another day right there. Where's the original tape? They gave you a blurry ass tape. They could, and you mean all them people out there, nobody caught anything on tape online? That's a bald-faced lie. But that's another story of another day. But because she said, we sorry, I'm coming back. Okay, I'm on a plane tomorrow. Give me a break. She's sorry. What the hell I care about her apologizing? Give us reparations. Let's talk about that. You so sorry. Where my money? Cut the check. How about that? I don't want to hear you say it. Show me the money. Show me how sorry you are by cutting me a check. Okay. I'm just saying. But I rest with that.
Yeah, and I had one that they was talking to another young brother. They was like, yeah, I'm stopping you because it looks like you're walking like you could have a gun or whatever.
Ain't that something?
But
Ain't that something? You walking like you could. You look like you could have a gun. But they ain't see no gun. You're just trying to harass. But here we go again. If you're in your own black community, with your
we have
own black
the
officers, you don't have
this
this
beautiful
problem.
mask. I'm taking you to.
oh, my bad. I'm sorry. All right.
It's on leave after arresting a 15-year-old girl. We have the update to this. Put it up full mask. I'm taking you to Ohio. We do not have the cop's name, okay? But an unnamed Ohio police officer is now on administrative leave after putting his knee on a 15-year-old child. You see the picture. His knee is on the child's neck while arresting her. It happened during a Juneteenth celebration in Elyria, Ohio. The local police.
All right. So, we've seen enough of these because you brought up this one, right? Now this was you said the brother stepped to he tried to step to the young man because this is what
49.
and there's a lot of situations with young brothers like that do lead us to the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like the brother then is like how we deal with stuff and then sometimes cope with the wrong ways and leads to drugs and all that stuff, you know. But a presence of a strong masculine, you know, as male men and stuff like that, you know, it
Makes
could
a big
change
difference.
the dynamic of things.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, oh man, thought it would be a good idea to bully and harass.
See, they think like especially the ones who think they lift weights, like, yeah, I'm gonna go beat up the ones who look small until they realize they can't.
Muscles and no muscles, his daddy. He couldn't handle that daddy.
Easy to pick on a young child. All right, go get a grown man.
Then the daddy showed up and beat his ass.
Right now, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, daddy. Come on, daddy. Yeah.
His name is Robert Lee Farrell from Melissa, Texas. Hopefully his punk ass learned a lesson. Stop trying to bully people.
All right, a little bit back again.
His name is Robert Lee Farrell.
See, all the ones that be talking tough, like, see, yeah, they'll try to show out for a young man. And listen, man, listen to this brother here.
Hitting on nothing. When the real man came up there, what happened? What happened? He went down with all the muscles and all, didn't he?
Which one? Just like
Didn't mean nothing. And listen to it.
Just like you see that picture, there are phones out there. They use one of those phones to call me. I pulled up. Right. When I pulled up, the guy was still there. I went into the pool area to talk to the guy by putting his hands on my son. The guy immediately jumped up, came toward me, called me, swung at me. I ducked him and I beat his ass. So it's not a question of who's going to win a fight. I don't need his name for a fight. That's already done. He don't want to see me again. But Howie, if you do, I'm in McKinney, and we can see if you going to have better results than he did. But don't come on the page with all of this shit. How you automatically defend a racist because I know you're a racist. Monkey this, monkey that, chimp this, chimp that.
Now, this white boy got the nerve to talk about somebody being a chimp and all of this. And this is why I be like, y'all don't even reason with that. Because listen, if they really felt like that, this is how they feel about chimps, right? They say chimping out. Look at this. So like, why would you argue with a Neanderthal species that does stuff like this?
Absolutely loves it.
Calling you a damn chimp.
Oh my goodness.
Well, they would feed a chimp. They don't feed you, so you can't be a chimp, first of all. And then say you chimping out. Ain't that something?
Ain't that the monkey on Mufasa? On the Lion King.
Let's hear the brother again, man. Let's hear the brother again.
Just like you see that picture, there are phones out there. They use one of those phones to call me. I pulled up. When I pulled up, the guy was still there. I went into the pool area to talk to the guy by putting his hands on my son. The guy immediately jumped up, came toward me, called me, swung at me. I ducked him and I beat his ass. So it's not a question of who's going to win a fight. I don't need his name for a fight. That's already done. He don't want to see me again. But Howie, if you do, I'm in McKinney, and we can see if you going to have better results than he did. But don't come on the page with all of this shit. How you automatically defend a racist because I know you're a racist. Monkey this, monkey that, chimp this, chimp that. I'm only a 6-hour drive away. You could come on and get it too.
Spoken like a real man.
See, Now, these was black men teachers here, right? And let's just go out with this, Cassidra. We'll see more instances of situations like this, right?
Yo, bro, me and you, don't worry. I remember everything you said.
No, because we're not gonna do that.
Fucking piece of shit little weasel. Yo, bro, me and you, don't worry. I remember everything you said.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Given this information by Mr. Booth's wife, she reached out to me and she sent me the police reports where several witnesses say that this man, Jeremiah Myers, who had previously antagonized her husband at that previous location, followed him and harassed him at the grocery store, waited outside for him to come outside, and then attacked him, causing our dear brother to stand his ground and shoot the attacker twice. Now, of course, he was arrested and he is currently in jail under several charges. And according to his wife, they are trying to get him to take a plea deal. However, you're going to find out that they really don't have a case. Now, how did this situation start? You're going to see where it is alleged that Jeremiah Myers' wife, the white guy's wife, tried to holler at the young brother right here, Jermaine Booth. And as you see from previous interactions, the pink man didn't take too kindly to it. And so he had addressed them at that location at a mutual friend's house. And then he saw him at the Smith store. Now, several people
you see that hypersexualization of the black man goes back, and then there's also the envy, but this time it got the Neanderthal boy smoked. You know what I'm saying?
The incident. Now I'm going to read you some testimonies from police statements about what witnesses said. Now here you see on the third to the Booth chases him. I was unable to ascertain if Booth fired again. Now, this is the cop who viewed this right on scene right after the shooting, where this man struck Booth in the face after following him in the store and out of the store, waiting on him and antagonizing him. But let's read further. Myers was transported to KRMC by AMR.
Now, I guess as long as you're in their system, details does not matter, right? Because we understand. But you see, now, like I said, I can't tell you why they were there, but...
Well, let me ask you, why is the guy in jail? If he stood his ground, which you have a law, so if you have laws on the books, then we're going to abide by those laws, right? But when black folk stand their ground to defend themselves, they end up going to jail. And why do they do that? They want you to lose, because you lose, you know, black folk, we paycheck to paycheck. You lose one paycheck, you lose your house, you lose your car, you lose everything, right? You lose your job, you know, you lose everything. That's why they're doing that. So now they have him held up, right? He cannot even produce for his family, provide for his family, because he's in jail. So now they're going to make you scared to defend yourself, because if you defend yourself, no matter what these crackers do, no matter what these Neanderthals do, no matter what these demons do to you, you have no right to defend yourself. But that's BS. Beat their ass and live another day. This is why we stocking up on food, and we, you know, have your extra little savings, because of things like this is bound to happen, because you're still among them. If you wasn't among them, this wouldn't happen. Be separate and learn not. What we doing? We still doing the same old stuff. We still living among them, still going to their schools, still going to their jobs, still doing what you need to be not doing. You need to have your own. We can have our own neighborhoods, our own schools, our own businesses. We can do this, but we would prefer to live up under them because of the brainwashing. But this is what's happening. They're making you afraid to do for yourself, to fight for yourself, to defend yourself. Because if you do, you're going to go to jail. And we're going to make you take a plea bargain. Don't ever take a plea bargain for something that you know you stood your ground. You followed the law. But this is what we do. I rest with that.
Now, and I showed these before, but I want you to see these two here now. This brother here, let's see.
Bennett. They found him guilty, but not of the most serious charges. As News 13's Peyton Gay tells us, the judge also has not determined the amount of time Bennett will spend in prison.
After hearing 2 full days of testimony, the jury in the Sifo Bennett trial came back with a verdict a little before 5 Thursday evening.
Guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. Count 2, guilty of aggravated battery as charged. Count 3, guilty of shooting at, into, or within an occupied vehicle as charged.
They decided against finding Bennett guilty of the most serious charge, second-degree murder. Bennett was on trial for the 2023 murder of David Brimmer and aggravated battery of Caden Johnson. Before deliberations, jury heard closing arguments from both attorneys. The state argued Bennett's choice to fire his weapon was unjustified.
Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that there's been no evidence whatsoever of any attempt to murder Sifo Bennett. There's been no evidence by any witness. There's no evidence that's been introduced to show.
Now they just watched the video of them attacking the brother. But they said no evidence.
Of course, but it doesn't matter. It could be on tape. It doesn't matter. It's what might not say.
Reasonably believed that he was imminently about to be the victim of an aggravated assault. That's when he took action.
But the prosecutors pointed out another key piece of evidence.
The state submits that a reasonable person who acted in self-defense would not flee and take crucial evidence with them.
Before beginning their
You
deliberations,
mean like the dude that chased the kid down and shot him in the back or something?
Exactly. In this case, has been accused of the crimes of count 1, second-degree murder, count 2, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and great bodily harm.
I wonder how many juries of his peers were on that jury.
Into or within an occupied vehicle.
They deliberated about 3 hours before coming back with a guilty verdict. In Walton County, Peyton Gay, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
Bennett will remain in the Walton County Jail until his sentencing.
So had to endure. These men followed him. When he got to the store, they waited outside for him, and then they began to calling him all sorts of racial slurs. He went back into the store. These guys left, and then when he tried to leave again, they came back and then taunted him some more. Let me let you hear what this witness said during the time that it happened.
We know Sifo pretty well. He comes up here and eats a lot. He's very polite, very well-spoken, very educated too. The 2 boys, when he started walking up, automatically started verbally assaulting him and racial profiling him and calling him names.
Between 5:35 and 5:50, the 2 men identified as David Brimmer and Caden Johnson come back to the local smoke shop multiple times, seen taunting Bennett from the parking lot.
They were drunk. You can see it in the video. They were drunk. They were stumbling. They were slurring. Everything.
They still stupid.
He went into the smoke shop to get away from the boys. And they recorded him inside the smoke shop, still assaulting him and coming at him.
Just before.
Hey, dude! Hey, look at it! Look at it, dude! Hey, look at it! Look at it, dude!
Packet and fires one more. When the shooting happened, the jumps into a car.
Now they're fleeing and they got popped and it's over. Now, and also, Cassidra, before you go on that to this one too, right? And then we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta get off of here anyway. But now this brother here was also, I showed last time, but a community activist that had to do what he had to do.
Brother Eric Franks, who is now deceased after shooting 3 police officers in Philadelphia. He succumbed to his injuries. And now more information is coming about who he really was and what really happened during that night. Peace and blessing.
News, one of the 3 officers shot over the weekend in Philadelphia released from the hospital today.
These fools clapping.
The other 2 officers remain hospitalized following the shooting, which happened Saturday night. None of their identities have been released, but they are said to be stable. Meantime, we're learning about the alleged suspect, 57.
That's how we should have been lined up when Carmelo Anthony came out clapping outside the courthouse like they clapping for these murderers.
Exactly.
Anyway, That brother had to defend
Franks,
himself.
a man who was well known across the community, who died in the shootout. The entire ordeal shocking. So many who knew him. Police have not yet shared what led to the confrontation, which took place there at North 54th and Arlington Streets in West Philadelphia. That's where we began at 5 o'clock. I'm Jason Martinez.
No, they'll never tell you what
We want
really
to head
happened.
straight out to Jennifer Joy's.
We already
They'll never
know.
tell you. They'll never tell you.
But yo, but these brothers are still here, and they had their candy bars and defended themselves, right? When they were
White
attacked.
truth.
And at the end of the day, they're still here.
Yep.
You know?
Do not
But-
get discouraged on defending yourself. You defend yourself no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. Either you defend yourself or you're going to be pushing up roses.
Yeah. So one thing that they hate to see is young brothers who are
On code.
White supremacists. Worst nightmare.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
brothers.
They can't stand this.
Like that, like the black father, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Police departments across America need to be investigated. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep on saying it.
What if black communities started protecting themselves again? Not gangs, but disciplined neighborhood patrols against drugs, violence, and black-on-black crime. Because if we don't protect our own communities, who will? What if black
on black crime or police officer crime on black
Right,
folks?
that's what I'm about to say, right?
Yeah, I hate the way he put that. Black on black crime. So why don't we tell the truth? What's really going on in our neighborhoods? Why do we really need protection? Who are we protecting ourselves from? Police officers, people that made a vow to protect us heard. But like I keep telling you, go after their bonds, bondforthewin.gov.com, I think. Just to take their bond. They meet their bonds in order to be police officers. You take that bond, they can't be police officers. But we haven't learned that one yet, though. We're still working on that one. Go ahead, Albref.
Yeah, facts. All right, yeah. And so the moral of the story is consider excluding you because you already out of here, but the rest of us learn how to duck, right? So check this out, right?
No, I was recording you threw something at me. But don't do that shit because you could die like that.
Don't you know how to duck?
Don't you know how to duck? No, I was recording you threw something at me. But don't do that shit because you could die like that.
Don't you know how to duck?
Don't you know how to duck?
I love it. Do you know how to duck? Why you didn't duck that punch?
And so in other words, man, while we here in America, learn how to duck, man. I think we better learn how to duck.
Hey, just he gonna post something to him and tell him, do you know how to duck? I love it. How come he didn't duck that punch? Yeah.
Oh, no, I was on mute, but I was agreeing with you. But you want to say anything to wrap it up, though?
Oh man, we showed a lot of great videos for Cass. Excellent job. Excellent job. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Nicole too. She had in the comments, you see her comment, she said she bought her candy bar. Good job. She's on code. She understood the assignment. Good job, Nicole. Good job. You understood the assignment, huh? Good job. Proud of you, girl. But we've shown you some very great videos. I hope you guys are understanding the assignment, what we need to do, not just delineate the Asian businesses, but we need to delineate from their schools, delineate from their neighborhoods. We need to build our own neighborhoods. We can buy land literally for under $1,000, and those are at auction blocks. You can go and get auction land, and sometimes you can get it for $1, $500, $1,000. You can get it for much or nothing. And if you put a little tint on it, You can put you can have some other ways of making money. You can do it for a campground. You can put a tent on it. You can have people coming to buy, not purchase, but renting a little part of that land so that you can make money on that land until you're able to build on it. But my thing is, we as Black people have to pool our monies together so that we can create our American dream, if that's what you call it. We have to create it. We can't wait for them to do it for us. They're never going to do it. But remember that Black family. We should have pulled them up to our forecast. The Black family that bought 100 acres. I think it was like 10 families that bought 100 acres. Now they're doing a thing. And I think now they're doing like campsites and, raising money to be able to build on that land, which is great. So I hope we're understanding the assignment, waking up, because it's time. Because I'm telling you what, it's going to get worse. So if we have that civil war, which they're egging on now, if we have that civil war, will you be ready? That's my question to you. Will you be ready? And I rest with that.
Oh, facts. So, and shouts out to you, and make sure you also subscribe to Realm in the Bush. I think you're a moderator already, so you could put your channel in there. So y'all make sure and listen to her conversation with the other sister. What's her name?
We have a couple of them, Lorraine and Nubian. We have a couple of sisters that come on. Yeah, Lorraine and Nubian. And they each have their own little businesses and, foundations and stuff. So yeah, you guys need to come on there and get some more information.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so make sure, because I'll be listening, so, and then sometimes I do got to catch the playback, but I definitely be listening.
That's fine. Even if you have to catch the playback, it's okay. But, at least, come on, join the channel so you'll know when we come on, just so you can hear about what's going on here on the continent. We're talking about really relocating and what's the side effects. We leaving family, we leaving kids, we leaving everybody, leaving cousins, husbands, wives, we leaving people. What's the side effect of that? It's not just up and moving. We're moving for a reason. And it's all about safety. But I rest. Go ahead. And thank you for the invite, forecast.
No, facts. And thank you for making time. And shouts out to you. Shouts out to William Bell. Shouts out to Raw, Nicole,
Yes.
My brother Anthony. Shouts out to Karma 804 out there. Shouts out to
Yes.
Matron, and all of that. I ain't really got no last words, but this brother had good enough last words for me to use it. So let's let this good brother have the last words, because he's earned the last words today.
Quick spoiler alert. Just like you see that picture, there are phones out there. They use one of those phones to call me. I pulled up. When I pulled up, the guy was still there. I went into the pool area to talk to the guy by putting his hands on my son. The guy immediately jumped up, came toward me, called me, swung at me. I ducked him and I beat his ass. So it's not a question of who's going to win a fight. I don't need his name for a fight. That's already done. He don't want to see me again. But Howie, if you do, I'm in McKinney, and we can see if you going to have better results than he did. But don't come on the page with all of this shit. How you automatically defend a racist because I know you're a racist. Monkey this, monkey that, chimp this, chimp that. I'm only a 6-hour drive away. You could come on and get it too.
Right. So shouts out to that brother for being a hero, a stand-up brother. And and don't worry about Neanderthal species calling you like, matter of fact, I should probably call the vet for drinking behind that Neanderthal, you know what I'm saying? Did y'all think about that? So anyway, it's up to us to protect our children and nobody else. So as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.